G'day, mates. We are back. It has been a big couple of weeks here at Sorare Downunder Studios. We've been off exposing Sorare conspiracies to the world. We've been keeping an eye on the chaos that's been happening across the several competitions. I've been forgetting to roll out lineups when I'm on track for a reward. Alistair's been getting very upset with me. Alistair, welcome back in. It's been a big 2 weeks down here, down under.
It has been a big 2 weeks. And I mean, the 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks since the new rollout of the new roadmap. I think the last episode we were kind of talking about, how's this all going to go? In that time, both of us have accidentally not submitted a lineup, which is, it's sacrilegious.
Dirty little sinners.
I'm ashamed of myself. I'm sure I'm definitely ashamed of you. How did this happen, Simon? Is Sorare to blame?
It's Sorare to blame. Do the math. I haven't forgotten a lineup in months, in years. I don't think you ever have. Coincidence that both of us forget to do a lineup in the first couple of weeks of this new layout? I think not.
I will pull you up on that a little bit, Simon, because this is not your first time of forgetting a lineup. I do have to send you a pretty much a weekly update being like, teams, get your teams in, get your teams in, because you have forgotten before. I know when you were, during your kind of period of falling out of love of Sorare, you forget a team here or there. Now,
well, sorry, I will say though that yes, I might have done it, but it normally doesn't matter because normally they don't do well. So it's different when they do well.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. So, okay, I'd like to think that I'd like to blame Sorare's layout because it's just so hard to, especially when you've got multiple teams. You've only got 3. I've got a few more than that. God knows how the people who have like 40 teams do it, because it's all just in this big long queue of 100 different teams you could potentially enter. And you can't, there's no easy way of like seeing your lineups in one spot. You've got to go through each one and make sure it's there. I know that there's a bit of a glitch at the moment where like you click on the team and it shows you the team you entered like 3 days ago. And then if you go into it, does it show you what you've actually like most recently done? Like there's a few glitches there. I'd like to blame that. I also did have accidentally ate 2 what I thought was CBD gummies. I was all signed up for a nice restful sleep, Simon.
Wrong!
A friend of mine said, "Do you want a CBD gummy?" And I went, "Yeah, absolutely. I love CBD. I'd love to just drift off to sleep nice and relaxed, I said, "There's no THC in these, right? Like these are completely they're just CBD gummies." He's like, "No, it's not THC. It's like some other thing. He was very blasé about it. So I had one, and then later on in the night, he'd offered one to a friend of mine, and I said, "Oh," and she said that she didn't want it, so I was like, "Oh, I'll have it." What's a little bit of, you can't overdose on CBD, can you?
Wrong!
No. Turns out they weren't THC, but it was Delta 8, which I don't know if anyone knows about that, but it's basically like, I think it's like another strain of THC, basically. So you're meant to have like an eighth of one of these gummies if you want to have like, be a little nicely stoned. I had 2 of them, so I basically went into a new dimension, tried to set my Sorare lineups whilst in said dimension. I was seeing shapes, I was feeling thoughts, the bottom half of me was on fire.
Can you tell me, as a mate, someone that knows me really well, is the bottom half of me on fire? No.
It wasn't a great Sorare lineup setting situation, so I'd like to blame Sorare's very difficult user interface and the fact that I was completely wankered on Delta 8 gummies.
Well, sometimes people say that when they have these sort of experiences, they have breakthroughs. They have moments where they have some clarity. Did you have a moment where, the Sorare god spoke to you personally?
Someone was speaking to me. There were some voices in my head, but they weren't telling me to submit my Division 2 Challenger Limited lineup, that's for sure. So that's how we end up where we are. But luckily for me, that team did nothing on the weekend, so I didn't have to feel any, major heartbreak. But I mean, let's talk about it, Simon. Let's talk about it. What happened to you this weekend?
Well, I've been very busy and I've been under a lot of pressure.
I've never been more stressed out in my life. My hair is falling out from the stress.
And I forgot to put
I've
in.
been
Look,
stressed.
it's. I know I have no excuse, but it's the midweeks. It's whenever, like, this has happened a few times, and what's the common denominator? Apart from me being an idiot, it's as soon as there's a midweek action, I'm like, I've got 5 days. Wrong! I've got 5 days. Wrong. I was so caught up on the midweek action, you know, my rare lineup smashing, but Senior not playing. I was so caught up in that, I forgot to look ahead for the weekend ahead, where Man City had Palace. You know, Liverpool had Man U, and well, MLS. Who knows?
But you submitted other lineups.
Yeah, but I don't know. I actually don't. I generally don't know how I forgot. And like, normally it wouldn't matter because my limiteds have done nothing for me. And then obviously the City stack smashed, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But like, I've got St. Louis, I've got Sasaki, and I've got Darwin. Like, and yeah, of course, it's like the bloke that can't win. The 1 week I do well, I don't have the bloody team in. We'll go in a bit of a deep dive into that later. But yeah, I'm a little bit shaken.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Simon. Well, what did we see this week? Oh,
We saw
hold
a
on.
bit.
Before we see what you saw, we did ask last week. We said if anyone's got anything hilarious, send her in. Now we did get a submission from longtime fan of the show, Kev Hurd. I see his name popping up on all the podcasts. He's a bit of a so rare podcast glutton, old Kev. And he's sent us a video. Have you seen this video, Simon?
I have not. It's got 903,000 views, and I'm not one of them.
Okay, well, let's watch this. All right, so it's a Hibernian player. Now, the name, before we watch the video, I don't follow the Hibs. I don't really follow the Scottish League. I've never heard of this player. His name is Nectarios Triantis.
The Greek god.
Is that not the best name of it? That sounds like a character from June 2.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Nectarios Triantis. Does he have a Sorare card? Can we buy this? I mean, I need to look this up. Have you got Sorare open, Simon?
No. God, no. Why would I have
God,
Sorare
no.
open?
Okay, Nectarios Triantis. I'm going to look that up later. I'm going to find out if he's got a card and I'm going to buy it. Okay, let's watch this video. Alrighty, let's go. I'll just share it here. Alrighty, so we've got Nectarios about to take a free kick. Here we go.
Slap, so a couple more like that, that'll end.
Bang.
Boom.
It's Triantes
The
doing
double
his best.
falcon.
And it got him on the
Of
way
course,
back
we've got the
down for
players
the
down.
third time.
Yeah, of course they're down. You know, that's the end of their career. That's as we know in Australia, that's a falcon. I don't know if that's what it's called overseas, but the double falcon is pretty rare.
Yeah, and I think is there a concussion rule? There's a concussion rule in soccer. Hey, it's like football,
There is, yeah.
but you don't get a free sub. Whereas in like rugby league and AFL in Australia, if someone gets concussed, you get a free sub. But to be fair, that is probably fair enough because they're running head on into each other for 80 minutes. So
Yeah, true.
warranted.
I mean, the first guy, he might have a grievance. There's some serious concussion worries about the first guy. Second guy, you'd have to think most of the G-forces have been taken out on player number one. He's just getting a bit of blowback. But yeah, great submission, Kev. Love a double falcon any day of the week.
Absolutely. Now, my Instagram reel feed is a little bit cooked. It's a mixture of
The algorithm's gotcha.
random kids on the internet, football memes,
Random kids on the internet.
No, not like that. It was mostly
These
football
kids
memes.
near you.
Anyway, this one came through on my reels, Alistair, and I wanted to share with you. You're going to need to listen to it because it might be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. And my real question is, have you ever done it with your wife?
Okay, let's have a go.
Do you want to walk in?
No. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Jonah Waters.
Hello.
How good does it feel to win the Premier Division?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, only the second time in our history as a club, and obviously mine as a manager, and it's a superb feeling.
Until today, did you ever doubt that you would finish as champions?
I wouldn't say I doubted it. I knew the quality of my boys. I knew the lads could get us there, but...
Thank you for coming today.
That's the weirdest porn I've ever seen. I haven't tried that with my wife, but now that I've seen that, I think I might have to start doing that. I mean, we all know that Quinny does, some pretty great press conferences for his Sorare club, but, does he do them in his bedroom with his wife whilst fully dressed in a suit? I like it. It's a good idea. Bit of role play.
Yeah. I think you should start doing with your Sorare lineups. Like, the Tottenham boys did really well. Vicaria, obviously, we've got some room to work with, et cetera, et cetera. Now, next one I saw is from the Premier League, Alistair, and it's from a fan favourite of yours, Daniel Munoz, who's settling into life at Crystal Palace rather nicely. Now, no one told Daniel that it's probably not best to fanboy over your opponents. Like, I can respect it after a game. Hey, game respects game.
Mm-hmm.
But brother,
jersey.
Maybe when you're 2-0 down at halftime, don't be asking to switch jerseys. And this is his interaction with Erling Haaland coming off at halftime.
All right, let's go.
So for me, it's like it's the little awkward like tap on the shoulder and just like it's like,
please. Excuse me, Mr. Haaland, can I?
Please, sir. I want some more.
No, did they actually swap jerseys, or is he just kind of like giving him a look as he? No.
They swapped jerseys, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but I heard that Erling got like a massive fine for it. But the sad thing about that whole situation is that Daniel Munoz in the second half went studs up into Erling's ankle, and Erling's out for the rest of the season.
There you go.
Yeah, took a real nasty turn. To finish off, I love a knee slide, but I love a failed knee slide even more.
Oh, yes.
Enjoy.
Let's go.
Can he pick somebody out? It's a great ball in. It
great goal.
The area to keep Marais.
Oh, the flip, the old somersault. Turned the cry of anguish there into like a, I did it. That's what I meant to do. Yeah. I mean, the failed knee slide has to hurt quite badly. Like, he's obviously tried to play it off there, but there's definitely a moment you can spot it, you can pinpoint it where he's kind of gone, oh shit, my patellas have just gone, they've ruptured. Love a good knee slide. If anyone out there has got some good knee slide fail videos to send us, please put them in my mouth.
Because I'm always baffled at how often football players seem to be injured. Like, there's always a knock, they're always missing a week. In like rugby league, AFL in Australia, like it's not as common, which is surprising given it's more of a contact sport, you could argue. But I'm just starting to think that all of these injuries are just as a result of like really bad goal celebrations.
It is quite weird, the celebration. Like, I was thinking this the other day. Pedro Porro scored a goal for Spurs, and his celebration wasn't anything crazy, but, they really ham it up. Like, they get in the corner and they're giving it this one, and then they're a camera and they're doing all this kind of thing. Which is I was kind of thinking it's quite weird to do that, like just with a bunch of other adult men on the weekend. Like I play soccer, you play five-a-side. We're great proponents of the no claim. You score a goal, you just kind of walk it off. You might give the old fist pump, high five, the old bum slap maybe. But I think if anyone in my like men's Division 3 Wednesday night social comp was to go to the corner post and start kind of giving it this one. You'd probably just probably get slapped up for that. Anyway, I just thought that was a bit of a weird thing.
Yeah, it is.
They do that every week. They really, really celebrate with each other.
Yeah, and this one I don't have footage of, but I can't remember his name, but the young right back or centre back for Man U against Liverpool on the weekend. He's playing in like one of his first couple of games in the Prem. And this is a 19-year-old in the Premier League, like doing the rev up to the fans and like a bit of this. Like, can someone like put him in his place? I feel like you shouldn't have the audacity or confidence as a 19-year-old to be, riling up the crowd in your first couple of Premier League games. I don't know. I just think it's...
I think they practice it. I think there's got to be a section of training where, like, they've finished taking their free kicks, and at the end of the training, they're like, right, boys, celebration time, okay. Danny, what have you got for us? Oh, you've got the lawnmower? Good one. Oh, that's very good. You've been working on that? Yeah, nailed it. Like, I think it's got to be something obviously they think about it. They're like, Marcus Rashford's got whatever he's doing. Like, there's something that they have to think about and practice, surely.
Oh, they're absolutely doing it in the mirror, and then they go, that's the one.
That's the one.
When Phil Foden's going on the ground and doing this, he's like, yeah, that's the one.
There's some that are better than others. James Ward-Prowse's golf swing, I don't think that's one of the best ones. I think golf just doesn't scream like badass. I used to like the Maxi Arudi, letting go of the arrow. I mean, that's a bit of a lots of people do the arrow, but I do like the arrow. Maybe next week we need to have a segment on like best celebrations.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, now Simon, I've seen a few things this week as well. A couple of things caught my eye. Now, the first one. Now Simon, you're a young man in media. You've had your moments behind the mic. You've done a few things in front of the camera, a few things behind the camera, some commentary. Now, you must know how much pressure there is on people in media. The camera's rolling, it's your moment, and anything can go wrong. Is that something you think about before you go on camera, or?
To be honest, I don't think it's something you try and think about before you go on camera. But let me tell you that 5-10 seconds after you've stuffed up, you've stuttered, or you've forgotten something, like the panic is something like I can't even describe, because it's as if you're talking to 100,000 people and you've forgotten what you're about to say. It's it's not good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I found this one over the week, and it kind of tickled me a little bit. I don't know if it was from recently, but it came up on my Twitter feed, and I thought it was pretty great. So I've just sent you that link. This is a BBC presenter. I think after the game, she's pretty excited. The moment is upon her, and she says this.
Well, I started the day on the roof of St James's Park right up there. I didn't think my day could get any more dramatic than that, but
Finished
there you
it
go.
on the roof, judging by your celebration.
I might finish it on my back after a few beers later with my dad. Right, loads more to come. I shouldn't have said that. On TNT Sports this week.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
It came out wrong, all right, it came out wrong. There's a massive midweek of football coming up. Have a happy Easter, everyone. I'm going. Bye.
Well, a bit to unpack.
I don't think anyone's ever said anything worse on live TV than that. I think that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
So let's talk about the first bit. I'm going to be spending it on my back.
Yeah. After a few drinks, I might spend it on my back. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a pretty,
Where does that come from, though? Like,
I think I can see where she's going from. I think she's going for like, I'm so excited that if I was to have a few drinks, I'd end up on my back, like I'll fall over.
Okay.
It doesn't come across like that at all. But don't worry, she saves it with
with my dad.
End up after a few drinks on my back with my dad. With my dad. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. And then the rest of the video is her going, "Oh shit, what have I said?"
Oh, the camera slowly panning away.
Okay, now Simon,
and we never saw him on our screens again.
He was never on screen again. Okay, now Simon, the next couple of links. So the first one I saw popped up in my feed. Now this is a bit of a Sorare legend. I don't know how to say his name. Ole Sater. from the Norwegian league. A bit of a weapon on SO5. Now, I don't know if the subtitles on this video are in Swedish or Norwegian. There we go. But watch the video and then maybe I can kind of translate once you've watched it.
Så jeg var deilig, husker ikke så mye av det, så jeg skal hjem, mobilen i venstrehånda, hånda kuken i høyrehånda, skal jeg kose meg, det blir sent i kveld. Så husk at det kan være barn som ser på.
Okay, confused.
Okay. So basically, he's been interviewed after the game. He's on the pitch. They just ask him, like, what's your plan after that? You know, you've had a big game. What's next for Ole Sater? And he says, I'm going to go home, phone in one hand, cock in the other, and I'm going to enjoy myself. It's going to be a long night. That's some rare material right there from old Ole.
Why? Why has he woken up and chosen violence? Well, I don't actually understand.
Okay, now this might give it a little bit more context. He's obviously a bit of a rare unit, this fella. So if you click on that next link that I sent you, this one has got some subtitles, so you can kind of like track what he's saying here. Yeah, he's a bit of a strange dude.
Sater, du kongen på jord. Ole Sater, du så gud. Du så forbanna stor. Og så jeg jo det. Det jo fasitfyr. Friske folk. Hadde ikke stått her i bunnsettet 0651. Det derfor folk gir Ole Sater. Estetisk ganske fint også. Og jeg synes det så klink fasit å kunne si sånt som på seg selv. Og jeg blir så gest. Jeg blir så... All right. Sater, du best i hele forbanna verden. Sater, du best i hele forbanna verden. Tusen takk. Tusen takk.
I feel like I've got to buy his card just off the back of that performance. Like, that's incredible.
I have no words. Is she going to find herself on her back with Ole Sater? I don't know.
What an absolute legend. I love, he's just like, I'm fucking massive.
Yes.
As he chops up some beef.
Tacos.
Like, I mean, wow. Okay, now, last one. It's not a video. It's just something that really tickled me. I thought this was just the best thing I saw all week. So, we all know the MLS is a little bit different. Like, we talk about it all the time. It's a wild league. It's chaos. Now, no surprises here. Carlos Hill, man of the match against Charlotte. And I did watch that game. Very boring game. Man of the match purely just because he scored the only goal in what was a pretty dull, kind of listless affair. Man of the match. And here he is with his Man of the Match award.
You couldn't script it better. The fact that it's Carlos Hill just...
He must just be like, what? I played for Aston Villa. What's going on? What's happened to my career? This is where I'm at, where I win Man of the Match and I get a giant bag of fucking popcorn. Jesus.
In just like, looks like just like a garbage bag that they've tied some rubber bands around the top. Oh, mate.
Shocking.
I mean, you know how Portland Timbers, when they get the logs and they hold it up to the crowd, is he going to go out now and hold up his bag of popcorn?
I hope so, yeah. I hope so. I mean... This show is becoming the rugby league football crossover, but it actually reminds me of another time, Alistair. Do you remember last season when West Tigers player Luke Brooks hit a milestone? I think it was 150 games for the club, and they rolled him out a barbecue onto the field. Wow. Free barbecue.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like, yeah. I mean, you probably give it to him behind closed doors, but on the field?
Yeah, what's he going to do with it? Just like... Yep. All right, I'll keep that in my locker.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That's fantastic. Well, it's good to see Carlos Hill back in the Man of the Match nominations. And
Of course. Oh, now quickly, one more quick one, Simon. I know we've got a lot to talk about. I'm just going to send you a quick picture here. Someone, a friend of mine, found you on Instagram. Didn't realise you were looking so jacked. Here you are.
This is always dangerous.
Looking good.
Whoa. Not gonna lie, I thought that was me for a second there.
Congratulations.
I'm looking good.
Yeah. All right. Now, Simon, this week we have something very special for everyone. We have an exclusive. We have a special guest. Now, we promised this. We kind of teased this a little bit on the So Rare Conspiracy show. And look, like I said, we don't usually do interviews on this show. It's usually just the two of us. You know, we do guest appearances. We don't have guests, but we have to make an exception for this guy. He's got the best hair in the Serie A, at least. He's scored more goals than Jesus. He's the French Da Vinci. His resume is literally diamond encrusted. It's Olivier Giroud. Hello, Olivier. Je ne sais quoi. Now, Olivier, we're not gonna muck around. Okay, we're not gonna take it easy. This isn't the mainstream media. All right, we're gonna grill you. We're gonna throw you on the grill. We're gonna ask you some tough questions. You're gonna be like a burnt sausage by the end of this. All right, now,
Okay.
first question. So, you like football and stuff?
Love it. Still love it. What's it?
Okay, now
What's not to
tell
love?
me a little bit about
It's incredible.
France.
I live, I breathe. Like France. Yeah, it is not so bad. It's not as good as Italy. Yeah, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Okay.
Now tell me, do you have any interest in going to America, to the MLS, to one of the greatest leagues in the world? Can you drop an exclusive?
We, for sure, I think this is the place where I am going to retire. I cannot see many more years ahead of me being one of the greatest in Japan. But I think maybe 2 more years in one of the best leagues in the world. And I think I will be happy. I will score many more great goals. I think for somebody like me, it's a pretty easy league. And it might be a challenge for other people, but for me, no.
Amazing.
Dye my hair maybe a bit blonder, score more goals.
Now, I mean, LA. I mean, it's this, the city of angels. I mean, are you ready for the high life, the fame? Are you ready for the paparazzi, the drugs? What are you looking forward to the most about Los Angeles, apart from the hikes?
Ugh, the women, of course. I live my life there, 3, 4 women. And like I say, for me, it's not a challenge as such. For the other players, of course, but I'm just going to carry on doing what I do. And the question is, are they ready for me? More than am I ready for them?
How do you think you'll handle the scandal of you and Ricky Puig getting caught with your pants around your ankles in an LA strip club?
It could be a sore one. But, it's not so bad for me. People have always talked about me throughout my entire career. And, I've shown I am a diverse character in life. As a goalkeeper, as a striker, there is nothing really I cannot do.
Wow. Okay. This is good stuff. This is great. Now, Olivier, you're a keen Sorare player. Tell us about your Sorare experience so far.
I could be passed as a degenerate gambler playing this game. I certainly have lost a lot more than what I have won. 100 times, I think. The bombing I got from Ricky Puig was easier to take than the amount of losses and money wasted on Sorare. But I'm a man of passion. I'm a man of wealth. I can afford these losses. And I have a Real Madrid stack on there that I use.
Tell us more about that. Why do you have a Real Madrid stack? What's the fascination with Real Madrid? I feel like that's you played for AC Milan. You've played for many great clubs. You've never played for Real Madrid. What's going on there?
It was always a dream, but to be honest, at the time, you had Ronaldo when I was being considered as a move to Real Madrid. And there was Ronaldo, Benzema was up and coming. They had Higuain, Raul, many great players. For me, the game time was more important, and it was an easier decision to go in what they classed as a Mickey Mouse league at the time and show the world how great I was. And unfortunately, age catches up with us all. And this is why sometimes I have to play in it for AC Milan now.
I see. Well, I mean, look, I don't know about you, Simon, but it's so amazing to have Olivier Giroud here. At first, I thought maybe he didn't quite sound French. He sounded a bit more Spanish, but now I am convinced that he's the real deal.
Obviously, I have an English accent as well. I played for Arsenal for many years.
Yeah. Do you want to give us your best, Arsenal accent?
Well, my family lived in Yorkshire for a long time there, so I can switch very easily.
Oh wow!
And I can just talk. Yeah, I can talk very Yorkshire. I've got a strong, broad family side over there, and then I can quite easily go back into where my roots are in France.
So you're telling me that Olivier Giroud was actually born in Yorkshire? This is exquisite.
Yes, Leeds.
In Leeds? Wow. Okay, tell us about your childhood in Leeds, Olivier.
It was a rough place. And for me...
wow, he's switching backwards and forwards between the accents.
You bring me back to my childhood.
I feel like I actually heard more comfort coming from the Leeds accent. Is that...
Yes, of course. I can carry on.
Do you feel that Leeds is your real home? Is France just France? Do you actually care about France? Is Leeds really where you live and breathe?
France now is shit. Shit supporters. They are for the club when they are winning. When they are losing, there's riots. There is lots of cocaine abuse, stabbings and murder. It's not good for football. But in Leeds, even though it was a rough childhood, they are very welcoming supporters. Whether you are Patrick Bamford and you play shit 90% of the time, they still love you as a player and support you. Even if they go down from the Premier League to the Championship, they support you. I don't know why. It's crazy to me. If you are shit, you are shit. You shouldn't have support. But somebody, of course, like me, the top of the game, of course, I deserve everything I get. With the fame and the hot women, the nice cars, and I score fantastic goals, as you know. Scorpion kick for Arsenal.
Of course. What's your favorite?
Sorry.
What's your favorite kind of car? Is it the Hyundai Elantra?
No, it's actually it's a French car. It's a Renault Megane.
Ah, yes. Man, of course.
It's
that makes sense.
Reliable, and the Renault Espace, very good for my family. I have 7 children, and you need space.
Of course.
When you're planting and sowing your seed. Of course, Italy, France, Yorkshire.
Yeah. 7 different children from 7 different mothers, or are these all from the same baby mama?
Yeah, 6 mothers.
Ah, okay.
And the first one I have 2 children with.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest, I just had to branch out. I was moving to different clubs, meeting different women. And, this is life.
Yeah, I see. Now, we'll go back to Sorare a little bit. Obviously, it's very good to have an athlete of your stature playing Sorare. How do you feel about Sorare at the moment? Do you feel like it's a platform that's going in the right direction? Do you feel like there's a future for Sorare?
Yes, I think there is. It's a very hard time at the moment because the crypto market is going up and down,
Mm.
and
a roller coaster.
For sure. And for me, I love the sport. I love the game. So this is why, I play Sorare. There's not many other platforms out there you can get so angry with, so emotional, so sad, so happy.
Olivier, Olivier, I have a question. Sorare give away a lot of giveaways for Sorare fans to travel on the AC Milan plane with the players. How do you find that experience, getting to interact with fellow Sorare managers? You must love it.
Are they disgusting?
For me, I have never been on the plane with one of these. They tend to use mainly the substitutions plane, not the starting players. We have, it's more of an economy-based plane. So again, the budget, I don't think is stretching very far with this. It's not true to how it actually is. And maybe again, because of the crypto market is very volatile at the minute. And a budget, I notice now they're reining back on cash prizes and things. So this could be many of the one factors why they put these trips for Sorare managers to be with substitutions planes. But it's good. They get to watch the game. They get to have a bath with the players after, and share some cocaine and some booze, and
with the substitutes,
and they get a 3-star hotel paid for them.
Well, that's great to hear that they get to spend time with some tier 1 rewards and the wonder kids that have never stepped on the pitch. That really is great to hear, isn't it, Alistair?
Yeah, it is. It is. Of course, I'm assuming, Olivier, that the starting team players, they each fly in an individual plane, just one man per plane to each game. Not very climate friendly, but of course, you wouldn't expect anything less.
No.
Great club of AC Milan.
Because we need the space for all of our luggage, our bags, our women, and not some random kid on Sorare who has spent $100 on his gallery, and we have earned the right to be this way.
Of course. Now, you're very fit. You're a very muscular player. Is it true that every time you get a DMP in one of your lineups, you do 1,000 push-ups?
Yeah, 2,000.
2,000 push-ups. Wow.
2,000 push-ups. We do a 100 burpee, and we have to do the burpee to, I think you call it the beep test or bleep test.
The boop test.
So we have to do the burpee. Yes, and we have to watch the Ron Jeremy vintage collection 1 to 10.
Wow.
Over and over again to show what speed and power looks like. If we have a bad game, ferociousness, tenacity, and the coach really knows what he's doing with that. And I think he calls it exposure therapy.
Explosion therapy. Watching Ron Jeremy.
Well, you could call it, yes, explosion therapy, exposure therapy. Many good therapies come from this, especially all the players. Sometimes we do not even like to play because we enjoy the explosion therapy so much.
Wow, so humble. It's been really eye-opening talking to you, Olivier. Now, I want to do a final competition for our listeners out there. We're going to give away one of your limited cards, Olivier Giroud, limited card for the listeners of Sorare Downunder. Now, all they've got to do to win this amazing prize. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Olivier, and then I want people in the comments to guess what they think the answer is that Olivier gives. We're going to bleep out Olivier's answer. Okay, now, Olivier, obviously you spent a lot of time around the French national team. Great bunch of players. Now, I want you to pick 3 players from the French team. I want you to pick 1 to fuck, 1 to kill, and 1 to marry.
Okay, so want to fuck would have to be
Of course.
want to kill would have to be if he ever gets back in.
Obviously.
Big nose had a fallout with Barbuena, not good for the team.
I hate him.
And want to marry would have to be, I would say, very nice guy, or because he's in Madrid. And
Okay, so
I
you're
have
marrying,
him
you're
in my
marrying
story.
fit players, which is, I mean, is that legal where you're from in Yorkshire?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you are Olivier Giroud, you can do what you want.
Of course, the most kind of seductive names in world football.
Yeah. Beautiful eyes.
Beautiful
nice
eyes.
skin.
Yeah.
Soft
Very
hands.
Promiscuous. All right, Olivier. Well, look, it's been a treat. You're a real gentleman. Like I said, so humble. And look, it's been. We just want to thank you for coming on and sharing some pretty exclusive information. I mean,
it's because you talk about Leeds. This is what happens.
I apologize. Look, I know you want to leave your past in Leeds in the past. We're sorry for bringing it up. I'm glad that you shared it with us. I'm glad that you see us as friends enough that you can share that kind of, intimate details about your life. So thank you so much, Olivier, and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Merci. Ah.
Oh,
wow.
Fuck.
There you go. Olivier Giroud. Who'd have thought, hey? Quite a talkative fellow.
He was.
It's you can't tell a professional football player that maybe they're just dragging on a bit long, but hey, that's professionals. They're divas. All right, now let's get back to Sorare, Simon. Let's talk about this Continental Nights competition. Have you had a look at this at all? I'm assuming. I mean, you don't have a team, so I'm assuming you don't care about this at all. But what do you think about this idea of special weeklies as being the only way to enter teams in midweeks? How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it because isn't the whole issue with these new challenger contender champion is that some leagues will only have a couple of games going. I think it's just a good easy way to be like, all right, there's not going to be a week where there's only 6 teams playing in challenger.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's been a lot of backlash on Twitter this week about this new special weekly because you have to have a player under 40, and it's kind of like following the old specialist rules of having to pick players with different L15 scores. And I think a lot of people are upset that it's Champions League week and they've got players like De Bruyne and Griezmann and stuff ready to go, and you can't really play your best. I mean, you can play them in All-Star, but I think people are a bit worried that in future tournaments, people are going to be limited at using, because if they're only running special weeklies, once All-Star is gone, if they're only running special weeklies, people I think are a bit worried that they might have a bunch of really good players, but they can't play them because they don't fit under the cap. But I don't know if I really every weekend you can use those players. Potentially they might bring back some form of All-Star to put in during the midweeks. And also the players we win as rewards, people can't, if they don't have these special weeklies where you need some shit players, what point? Is there any point to those players at all, especially once the cap modes are gone?
Yeah, no, I agree. You may as well be giving everyone Toblerones because, at least you get more use out of them.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, because if I win some shitter from a tier 4 shitter, I want to know that at some point he might have some utility for me. I've got a Augustin Marchesson in my gallery, and I'm freaking out because I don't know whether to play him. Play Sharper has him as 50%, and the other goalie is 50%. They've been alternating keepers week to week. He's one of the only under 40 keepers for the week, and I'm like, do I put my best players with him and really go for gold in the specialist, or do I play my all-star team but then be up against the other players that have smashes? I'm really a bit torn on it. But the point I was making is that Marchesson is in my gallery. He's not he's not ever going to be a great player, I don't think, for my strategy or my gallery. But knowing that just this 1 week he could be the most valuable card on the platform, surely that's enough incentive to like just keep hold of those players and not just sell them at a massive discount and ultimately crash the so rare market.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of the specialist. I just think that one of my favorite elements of Sorare is combining the best players in the world with Sorare relevant guys. It kind of merges the two worlds together. It merges the football fan and the Sorare fan. When I'm rolling out Roman Berkey, Sho Sasaki, De Bruyne, Rodri, Darwin Nunez, or Klaus.
That's what it's all about.
That's my favorite lineup ever.
That's what it's all about. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I think it's going to be interesting in August when they get rid of Cap 240, Cap 270, All-Star. Where are those shit players going to go? And I mean, I guess you could say that they're going to go in like Division 4 and Division 5 possibly. But yeah, I think they've got to really work on making sure they've got regular specialist type, or even they don't have to be specialists, but just like, yeah, those special weeklies need to be really consistent, and they need to allow people to utilize those cards in their gallery they might not otherwise use. Otherwise, they just become useless.
I wonder if we're in a little bit of a false sense of security because we have these competitions, we have these divisions, but we've got the fallback of Global All-Star.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, are we not paying attention to the fact that in a couple of months, it's going to be a whole different ballgame? Like, for example, my limiteds, it's all well and good. Haha, we're having fun. I can't roll. I have 2 players out of potentially 5 across 3 divisions. So, yeah it's kind of a little bit concerning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly in that position myself of just kind of like taking All-Star for granted and being like, yep, I'll just hold on to my Heung-min Son, hold on to my Sho Sasaki, all these players that don't fit my strategy. So, yeah, it's definitely something that we need to keep in the back of our heads.
But it's tough, though, because it's still so far away. I still think that Sorare months age like dog years. A month in Sorare
August
is
years away.
4 months for the normal, everyday soccer fan.
Absolutely. Okay.
Sorry, I just lost you
all
for a
right.
second.
Now, Simon, tell us about your weekend. So you had a bit of you had a nightmare in your regular team, in your Asian boys. Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah, so it's been tough. Obviously, it hasn't been a great start to my time with the Asian boys. Pretty mediocre across the board. Haven't even really threatened to do anything. Bing, bang, boom. Finally, all the stars come together. Makawawa. Oh, geez, I've butchered that.
Simon learns Japanese.
もしもし、ドナルドです。
The Visual Kobe keeper has kept a clean sheet.
Please name the rest of your team.
Sho Sasaki. Anyway, all the guys did really well. Ki Sung Young smashed it. And we're like, we were joking. We're some funny boys, weren't we, Alistair? Ha ha ha. So Senior will be off looking at the stars. Ha ha ha. So Senior, aka Hoodwink, he'll be off at his son's music rehearsal.
Ha ha ha.
Lol, lol, lol. 20 minutes later, out.
He's out.
Captain, gone, rested. All right, that's over. And it sort of begged the question, like, am I in a toxic relationship? Am I putting me first? Do I sometimes need space to find out who I really want and need in my life/gallery? I just think that it's sort of opened my eyes to whether I need to start putting myself first. I have this great relationship with Senior/Hoodwink, but at the end of the day, Alistair, is it really what's best for me? Do I need to take space to work out what's, working for me in my gallery? I don't know.
I mean, I think you might have a point there. I mean, there's certainly lots of players that we have kind of love-hate relationships with. I have plenty. Who have I got? Claudio Bravo. I mean, what a classic example of a love-hate. Hit the man either scores 90 or he scores 5. He could either ruin your lineup or completely, bring you out of the dust as a point of difference. So, yeah, look, and I mean, Senior, of course, back into the lineup. Hoodwink let us know somehow he knew, intimate details about where and when Senior was going to be playing. I don't know how he would know that, but he's back in the lineup for you this weekend, Simon, and how'd that go?
Yeah, it lasted 18 minutes.
Oh.
So fantastic. And then my boy Makawa got a red
Makawa.
card.
Got a red
Super.
card. Brilliant. Nailing it.
Fantastic. Iraqi injured. That's
Yep.
brilliant.
Okay, going well.
So no, it's going really good, Alistair. It's good to be back in the rares, you know. But hey, at least at the end of the day, you know, I know I've got my limiteds, which are fun. My limiteds are fun, Alistair. Like, what can possibly go wrong when something's for fun?
Doesn't even matter if you put a lineup in or not. They're just fun. They're just fun. Okay, now you raised a good. This raises a good point, I think, because I think last week you managed to score still pretty well, even though you had a DNP and you thought you were in the boxes, but it turns out you've just been promoted. So I think you had you went from a Div 3 to a Div 2 or something. Now I noticed that this week you put 2 Div 2 teams in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, it's still got to have it's going to take some time to play out, I think, over the next, couple of months or however long it takes to for the teams to filter. Obviously, the big boys are going to be trying to get as many teams as they can in Div 1, and that will kind of hopefully free up the lower divisions. Now, I did notice everyone's been kind of keeping an eye on the scores that are required in each division to win certain things. Now, I did look through the prize pools of Div 4, Div 5. They're pretty bad. They're pretty shocking prize pools. But some of the scores that you needed to win a card were really quite low. Now, people have talked a lot about this tanking idea of playing your teams in a lower division to try and win. Are you at a point, Simon, where you just need to kind of get back on the horse, get a few wins under your belt, and maybe try and, slap up a few people down in Div 5? Or
King
do you
of the
think
dweebs.
it's still worth shooting for the stars and trying to get into that Div 1 spot?
Ambition or be the king of the dweebs? That is the question. Well, at the moment, mate, to be fair, I probably won't even have enough players to roll out a lineup next week, so we don't need to worry about tanking. It just does it on its own. So
now, that raises an interesting point for my game week. So I had a very lovely Kevin De Bruyne 100 on Saturday night, which set me up brilliantly. Now, I was basically relying on my Spurs stack in rare in-season Premier League. Now, when I was setting my lineups, my thought process was basically, because my first thought was all right, the Pranksies, the Bellamars, the PSU fans of the world, they're going to be in Div 1. Do I really want to come up against them in Premier League in-season rare? And then I kind of thought, I looked at the fixtures and I was like, the big teams don't have great fixtures. There's no Arsenal v Nottingham Forest. There's no, they had some tougher matchups. And really, Tottenham probably had the best matchup of the week. So I thought, fuck it, I'll put it in Div 1. We'll see how we go. Now, funnily enough, Tottenham didn't they won 3-1, so great. Heung-min Son got an assist, so we're looking all right. Pretty average scores from my other 3 players. Madison, Romero, Vicario didn't do anything special. I managed to finish 5th in Division 1 Premier League in season with 405 points. Now, 405 points in Division 2 and Division 3 I wouldn't have even cracked the top 10, and I would have won $20. As it happened in Div 1, finishing 5th, I win $350. So it's like I said, it's going to take some time to kind of work all this out, but I thought it was quite interesting that even in Division 1, yes, you're playing against a smaller prize pool of players. You don't necessarily have to score massive points. So really the goal should be for everyone to try and get to Division 1 so that week that things go well, you've got that chance at the bigger prize. Because if I had not been ambitious, if I just taken my gone the safe route and gone Div 2 or Div 3, I would have ended up with $20.
Yeah, and I agree, but you're also in a very specific competition. You're in Premier League in season.
True.
So, I think it's a different story if you're just in Champion Classic. But that's what baffled me, because anytime I have a good lineup, I have one guy score 50 and I come
that's it. You're dead.
110th. You had 3 50s. I know you got 100 from your captain, but I was surely other people captain De Bruyne. I don't know.
This you raise a very good point here, and this is something that I'm thinking about because I don't know about you, but obviously we've both got primarily classic lineups, and I've always I bought my Spurs stack, but I'm not that excited about winning cash. Like, I'm winning 0.1 ETH this weekend, which is great, but it just is not as exciting as if I was opening a star or even like a tier 1 rare, which is probably not worth that much. And I've always kind of been like, yeah, I'll play Classic and I'll win new season cards and I'll sell them and it'll be more fun to just play Classic. I'm beginning to think that maybe in August, when the new season cards drop, it may be worth investing a little bit of money to pick up some new season and just playing the in-season comps, because you just aren't up against as many combinations, as many players, as many cards. So a score like 405 can, on the right week, really hit you the jackpot. Whereas 405 points in Classic, I'm probably not even winning a prize.
You're probably in the boxes. I agree. I think, like, from a investment return point of view, I feel like you could potentially funnel what your super rares were. Like, you know how you were sort of saying that super rares, they're not probably as fun, but financially they worked really well. Because, yeah, I think this weekend's the perfect example of City conceded, Liverpool conceded, Tottenham conceded, Aston Villa lost.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of levels the playing field, and it literally took one player to hit 100. And I know you were going to say you were going to sell your Kevin De Bruyne because you were sick of him being a little bitch boy. But if you've got some players who can hit the hundreds, especially in Premier League, which we've talked about how, apart from like the absolute elite of the elite, it's a pretty even league.
Yeah, true.
Seems like not a bad avenue to go down.
I'm now beginning to think that maybe, like, come August, I should just, if I, can build up a bit of an ETH balance, sell a couple of my pieces now, maybe I just need to go in all, balls deep into Premier League in-season super rare, because I'll be up against even less players.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing about our podcast, Alistair, is how you come in with a strategy and you change it halfway through, and then by the time we're at the end of the podcast, it's changed again. It's good.
Yeah, well, that's, we're all learning. Just a quick note on that as well. So I watched the Tottenham game. Lovely to see us scoring 3 goals. We were pretty much, I think we had like 86% possession. It was pretty ridiculous. Watching Spurs defense is it's painful, and they conceded a pretty bang average goal. It was just Nottingham players in the box, Spurs players all over the shop. Pretty easy goal for Chris Wood, up the Kiwis. Now, that goal, Simon, and again, in a game where we had like 86% possession, if that goal was not conceded, I would have won Premier League in season rare. Like, talk about rabbit hunting. So, very costly goal for me there. Cost me about $3,500, unfortunately.
I would feel sorry for you, but I'm pretty sure Chris Wood also just missed like an absolute sitter as well. So
true. Okay, now talking about rabbit hunting, Simon. So we've talked about your lost limited team that you didn't enter. Now, for those of you playing at home, Simon had Roman Berkey in goal, banged out an 85. Sho Sasaki with a pretty average 58. De Bruyne scored 100, of course. Nunez got an assist with a nice 60, of course, with some big chances missed in there. And Rodri scored his classic, like 78. Now, I did some calculations, Simon, with your percentages, and your percentages are very low because you don't train your players.
They're in this week.
Yeah, that's good. You would have scored 422 points. Now, that would have got you 88th in All-Star Limited, which might not seem like much, but it's a tier 1. So what I'm thinking, Simon, is I think you've got to pay for your mistakes here. I think you've got to put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, put your money in. Put your money in your mouth.
Again?
Yeah.
Seems a bit weird.
Put your money in your mouth, and I think when the rewards come out tomorrow, we've got to see who finished 88th in All-Star Limited, see who they won, and I think you've got to go out and buy that player. What do you think?
Well, I think so, Alistair, because when you started yelling at me in our WhatsApp message saying, "You idiot, how could you forget? You've done it again."
Yeah.
I was like, Alistair, I put it in a little meme of Jurgen Klopp saying, "I'll say nothing without my lawyer." Ha ha ha. A bit of a joke. Okay. De Bruyne, they do their thing. It's not great, but this happens most weeks, and then everyone else lets me down. Then when the St. Louis kept the clean sheet, I was starting to panic. I was starting to get a little bit shaky. And then when I was watching this morning, because the whole time, Alistair, I'm going, it's limiteds. It's fun. It's fine. It's limiteds. And then this morning at 5 a.m., I see Darwin Nunez get the assist. And because I'd stayed off scores, I didn't know that he'd missed so many big chances. And I was like, you idiot. Like, I actually, like, it ruined the first half of the game for me because I was like, it's worse than me losing. It's worse. I'm winning, but I don't get the winnings.
It's way worse. Because you expect to lose. You don't expect to win. And then when the magic happens and you're like, this is all for nothing. I've completely wasted this. I mean, I've never had that feeling, but that's gotta hurt.
So for my own sanity, and I actually lost a little bit of sleep. That's why I'm on board for tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just wishful thinking. I actually did put the team in. How good. Ha ha ha. Get my reward.
And just pretend to open it. Yeah. I love it.
Unless it is like a 17-year-old wonder kid. Then
I think it'll also make you feel a bit better, Simon, because you'll find out who your tier 1 reward would have been. You go to buy him and you'll be like, oh, he's like $8. So it might make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't win that $8 tier 1.
Yes. Yeah. But look, we're back on the rares. I don't know what my team's going to be for the coming weekend. Hopes are down low again.
That's where they should be. Yeah.
And sorry, just quickly, is Alistair ever coming back?
I don't know.
It's like a 4-week injury.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for 3 months.
No, I think you need him back. You can't be relying on an MLS goalkeeper. He's only ever going to keep a clean sheet when you don't put him in, obviously. So you can't be relying on Roman Berkey for your hopes and dreams.
No,
all right.
No. Okay, Alistair. Well, since I am the ultimate underdog of Sorare,
yep.
Shall we find ourselves some underdogs of the soccer world as well?
Okay, let's do it. So last week it was who was it? Kilmarnock, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And
how'd they go?
Lost. They lost badly. So they did to us. Sorry, guys. It's a very quick segment, this one. It's every week. The week that one of the underdogs gets up, it's going to be,
party in the streets.
Okay, now, Simon, do we go... Now, we've got a couple of options here. We can go this coming midweek and look at underdogs. Now, the only issue with that is that a lot of them are going to be like teams that just are not in any realm of being licensed on Sorare. And obviously, we do want to have a licensed team if possible. Or do we just look ahead to the following, the weekend's games? Or do we look at, do we just look on the matchups for this midweek and see who's the lowest ranked licensed team?
I say...
Or at least they have some players who play for them that are so rare cards.
Let's look at the midweek, and if there's just absolutely no one, then let's go weekend.
Let's go.
We make the rules.
So this midweek, game week 466.
Oh, no.
All right, so there's a 90% win chance here for International. That's pretty good. Now, the inverse of that would be... Come on. Did this to me last time. Okay, so the lowest team on here is... So we've got Palestino. We've got Liverpool up against Palmeiras. Not that Liverpool. We've got the strongest. We've got Always Ready. Let's have a... I think Palestino might have some players. Nope, they do not.
Nope. Oh, back down to the bottom again.
Oh, God. Okay. All right, let's see if we can find a team here. Belgrano. No, that's not. That's an NA.
No, they've got no chance.
The strongest.
I like the name, the strongest.
That's pretty good. Let's look at Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool has a player. All right.
Got red carded.
Are we picking Liverpool? Liverpool, Montevideo, in brackets, Liverpool. I'm down.
All right, I love it.
Yeah, okay. This week we're cheering on Liverpool. Simon, you've always been a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
This could be the next best thing. Love it.
All right, go Liverpool.
Go Liverpool. I'm not going to be rooting for you because I'm the new owner of a recently acquired Palmeiras stack, so I'm going to be hoping that you get battered. But hey, same as last week, it's a win-win for me. If they lose, I get myself a brand new Liverpool stack or Liverpool jersey. And if they lose, then hopefully my Palmeiras stack is smashed.
Okay. All right. Now, before we wrap up, Alistair, very quickly.
Yes.
We can't forget about the lunch wheel, right?
No, we can't. It's been a while. I'm a hungry, hungry hippo. So I beat you in a... What was the game?
It was close, wasn't it? It was...
Oh, it was the J-League. It was Marinos and Frontale, and it was an absolute
ripper.
Bell ringer. I think you had Anderson Lopez, who had like 100 shots on goal. I had Tacha Benanda, who got a clearance off the line from an Anderson Lopez shot on goal. So talk about, sliding doors, Gwyneth Paltrow. And then I think one of the Frontale players got sent off, and I was like, oh no, here we go. Like, because I think I had the Frontale defensive stack, you had a Marinos attacking stack, and then my man Jeziel, the Brazilian wonder kid himself, just absolutely stepped up and he was a one-man backline. It was incredible.
It was actually the Liverpool versus Man United game, but just a week earlier. Like, Yokohama had every chance under the sun to score in the first half, didn't. And then, yeah, like you said, once the Frontale player got sent off, I'm like, oh, here we go. But then Jeziel just became Jesus and just started doing everything. He was absolutely everywhere. And it ticked down the final seconds and you pipped me by a couple of points. It was tough loss, but I'm getting there.
You're getting there. All right, well, let's spin this lunch wheel. I'm hoping for something good. I really don't want anything shocking. So let's share the wheel here. Let's see what we get. Okay, can you see the wheel?
I can see it. Let's spin it before the internet explodes.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Spinning around. Spinning around. Oh, baby. Oh, yes. Fish and chips it is. Absolutely delicious. I'm stoked. I'm happy with that. We didn't end up on anything weird. Looking forward to it, mate. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, there you go. I think that wraps up one of the biggest Sorare Downunder episodes. I mean, Olivier Giroud, the man himself, coming on.
Really.
I mean, what an honor. What a privilege.
Yeah. He reached out to us, actually.
Yeah, I guess we could leave it there. What was that?
He reached out to us, actually. He slid into the DMs. He's like, love the show.
Oh.
Can't wait to come on.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll catch you next week, mates.
Beautiful. All right. Au revoir.